glad you made it with the stormy weather and everything out there. We do have a quorum, or four of us here. So the first order of business is to approve the minutes from 8/20/25.
So moved.
Second, is there any discussion? No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, and the minutes have passed. Okay, there's a brief update on the municipal building project. Pete Anderson cannot be here tonight, so I'm just going to say, as far as I understand, we have finished the punch list. Welcome you to you stars and the heavens, you wonderful people. Put that in the minutes, please. As far as I understand, we have had the final punch list, and the health center is now completed. And yay, wow, huh? I mean, didn't we start September of 2021? So it's been 4 years, 7 months.
Really?
Yeah, I believe it was, well, I think that's when the committee was established, not when we started construction.
No.
It's been a long while.
Started meeting.
I believe so, yeah.
How time flies when you're having fun.
I know. Well, the end number is and let me give you, I'll say this in the beginning, I'll probably say it again at the end. I did not get a chance, Brian Boham is very busy right now with the town business. So I hope that we could get together and, get final numbers on some things. We weren't able to do that. But nonetheless, my understanding from both Brian and from Mark Olette, who is our architect, the final number for the health center was $3,796,422.92. So we came in under budget.
Yeah.
Yay.
We were budgeted for, so what were we budgeted?
What the budget number was, but it was, I believe it was really close to 4 million, if not at 4 million. The total amount that we got in bond request, donations, and the interest on both of those was $4,684,219.01. So, anyway, that's where we are with the health center. We do need to, I was hoping that we would be able to have Pete online to make sure that this was true. Hi there.
Sorry.
Welcome, Linda. No, right here. I was hoping that, Pete could be here. Nothing but bad weather could stop you from being here right on time. But I believe, the energy committee would like to get into the health center and start helping tighten up things so that their energy bills go down. Because right now, I guess there's a cost that is charged by CMP if they exceed a certain number in their heating bill. I don't have the right language, but their electricity run on that. So,
Could you go back to the numbers, so Linda, because she's so involved with those numbers, tell her what we,
absolutely.
maybe she's not ready yet.
The total, you want the total amount
For
on?
Linda, yeah.
Yeah, the total amount,
The cost of what we have for the cost
okay,
of
the total amount on the health center,
cost.
cost was $3,796,422.92. And that's less than what we had put in our budget for the health center, so.
Read that last
Under
end
budget.
again.
$3,796,422.92.
And what was the 4 million one?
That was the bond plus donations, plus the interest on both. As of May, the
Yeah.
interest, because the interest continues to accrue.
And that was,
And that was $4,684,219.02. Now,
making money.
yes, what I was gonna say is that, if Pete Anderson was here, I would be asking the committee if we should end our oversight of the health center, since the building is complete. And since, until we turn it over, it'd be turned over to the town, but the committee oversight would be gone. And the reason we would do that is so that, if the energy committee wants to start getting in there with Chris, the manager, the director of the health center's permission, and start making improvements, they don't have to keep coming to us and asking us for permission. They could just work with Mert and work with Chris and get in there. So I believe there's no way we can take that.
Well, we could,
Bitch, please, go ahead.
why don't we make a motion that if Pete agrees with the motion, that the motion is to cancel, or whatever the proper term is, for the committee's oversight.
Terminate the committee's oversight, yeah.
Yeah.
Terminate the committee's oversight. Based on the current, completion.
Of the punch list.
Right,
Yeah.
and Pete agrees, we're done.
But where did the committee go, just out of business?
Oh, no, it's
No.
just their oversight of the health center.
That one aspect of
Yeah.
the
The health center punch list is complete. So we no longer have an architect working with us on the health center. We no longer have work that we need to do. As far as I understand it, there may be little bits and pieces that we're making sure happen. But in terms of the oversight of this committee, I think we could terminate that with Pete's agreement.
Right.
Because he's been the one who's driving that.
I second that motion.
We have a second on that motion. Okay, any discussion?
Could you repeat the motion again?
Oh, thanks a lot. That's.
I'm sneaky.
I will, with everybody's help, the motion is to terminate committee's oversight on the health center aspect
Of the project.
of the overall project. There's two aspects of it.
With
With Pete,
the caveat that Pete Anderson,
it agrees
Doesn't agree
with
with
the
that.
termination decision.
okay? Okay, and the motion was unanimous, Jennifer? Oh, wait, we were at discussion, any
Yeah.
discussion? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, and the motion carries, thank you. Wow.
That's good.
I mean, that's cool,
That's big.
it's pretty exciting. All
For
right.
those of you who have done this, I mean, that's an incredible accomplishment. Not only is the facility up and working beautifully, but it's under budget. I mean, that never happens.
I know, I pretty
It's really a testament, to some really
amazing.
great work and hard work.
Our chair.
And the, I mean, just for a second, we could celebrate just for a minute or two. I guess the health center is very, very, very busy, so it came at a good moment. It seems like you're on the board.
They're busy,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
lot of ticks.
yeah.
I mean, that's not it, but there's a lot of ticks.
So it's good that it's in place and operating fully, and we have a new director in Chris, and yay, yes, please, Mert.
On coming in on budget, probably some of that or a lot of that is on the diligent work of your project manager that you hired.
Yeah.
He's the one that saved the town a lot of money. But what we're gonna learn is where we save money on certain aspects in time with that building. I already recognize it with the generator. There's gonna be some shortcomings. And what I say that is, right now, the generator is running because of the outage on the island. All the generators are running. That size of that generator, relationship to the size of the fuel tank, that's the biggest one they can design and put one in. You're only using 100 gallons to its disposal of fuel. on that size generator. And that thing's running full bore, and the health center can use every inch of electricity, and the generator is 3 times its capacity than what the health center needs, I'm guessing. So it's gonna eat a lot of fuel. Right now, it's half a tank. I don't know how long or what the level was prior to this storm. But I gotta call Cliff, fill it tonight. I'm gonna have to keep him on track every day, make sure that stays full. Now, the generator in current building, it has 275 gallons of fuel to its disposal. It's full right now. That will run almost 3 times longer than that generator. Because the size of the generator and its fuel capacity. The Up Island Station generator is smaller. It still has 130 gallons. That one will run for a week, I'm guessing, on a tank. So there's a big difference. And I don't know why on this big generator, why they shortchanged you to, they say 130 gallons, but it can't fill it to the brim and you don't want it to run out. So estimated, it's got 100 gallons to its disposal. It really should have something a lot bigger, but that's said and done. We just have to be diligent about making sure.
Can't you just get another tank and put them together?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, let's just follow up on that. That's really helpful, Mert, and, yeah, I think I've never been involved in a construction project like this, and I would imagine that this is
Well,
not,
it's probably that size generator for some rational reason.
Yeah.
But it's, to note, it's the biggest one on the island.
yeah,
The school's only 100K. This is 150.
yeah,
But the school has a much larger fuel tank because I believe it supplies both the generator and the heat for the school.
well, let's put a pin on this, but not forget it.
Correct.
We've got the minutes and we
But
can
my
follow
job
up.
and role is,
Yeah,
I checked it today, is to keep tabs of that. You just gotta keep it in
Yeah.
mind, because our situation right now is, the word on the street is, we might not see CMP for 1 to 2 days.
yeah,
There's so much damage.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I hope I'm wrong,
Me
Yeah.
too.
but
Yeah.
I'm prepared that we ain't gonna see CMP at all tonight.
and Mert, you are the facility
Facility.
manager for the health center,
All town buildings.
all towns, okay,
Yeah, Janet's been having me running hard at the library,
yeah,
because that is a basement project, all that,
well, congratulations, I think.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's all I want.
All right, thank you. All right, now the Up Island Public Safety Garage. And I'd like Mert to talk about, for just a minute, when we're done with this, catch up, the update, on what the new title you're proposing is for the,
The name of the building is Albro North Substation.
okay,
And from the mystery person who put the little sign out front, that coincides with that. I did learn by not even have to twist an arm. I found out who did that in the strike of me. But, I said, I was cool with that. And those folks were pleased by the new title.
great.
And what does it say that again, please? Up Islesboro, Up Island,
North Islesboro.
Islesboro North Substation. Cause it's a substation,
You don't have to say fire or anything, you just say
substation.
your substation,
I'm gonna call it North Station,
okay.
just for the ease of things.
Sounds like a novel title.
Yeah.
All right,
And the sign being made now.
Oh, good.
okay. Steve, are you ready for your presentation? Or by the books?
well. As we said, the numbers are still being finalized. At this point, the numbers, show that we're under, at budget and on timeline from a contract standpoint, we're looking at September delivery of that. I created kind of a mini 2-slide thing for the 30th meeting, or whenever.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, it appears that everything is in line. The electricians were there, did quite a bit of work 2 weeks ago. They were supposed to finish last week. They're coming next week, I guess, to finish up on the electrical aspect. And then the latest from the contractor is another 2 weeks for the individual for the doors and another 2 weeks for, one other component. So everything that was in the original estimate and requirements, along with one change order of 8,000 or some, is covered at this point. Any additional components that we want to add to that, we don't really have firm dollars, so we're staying right on what was originally budgeted for the project.
Any questions, comments? I believe we're talking about, another month for that to have its opening, but somewhere in the.
Well, let's say 2 months, because all of August, and we're someplace between now, so let's say 2 months from today.
Mert?
What I've noticed, like Steve said, CUP's run that line at an anchor point, and there's power to the building, just to the meter. The electrician has to do their magic inside. And that's kind of where we're standing. The new generator is in place. Cliff told me that the 130-gallon tank is full of fuel, so things are ready for the electrician. So that's what I recognize and see. And another addition to the site, the new cemetery committee storage building shed is off to the left near the woodline area, away from the substation. So that got placed and built, and then we'll just store cemetery tools, shovel, rakes, wheelbarrow in there. So it's out of the way, it's right there. So that's just, if more people are wondering what that shed's for, that's what.
And, I understand the new sign for the building is ordered, so.
Yes, I ordered that like a month ago. And whenever it's ready, then I will plan to have it installed at some point. And then I'm just antsy for the completion date, so I can start doing the dedication plans. I hope it don't get too late in the fall.
Yeah.
It'll be cold on climates.
Yeah.
Fifth group, put up funds, and we'll have a flagpole, fiberglass new flagpole erected. It'll have American flag with a smaller firefighter flag below that. I hope to have all that done prior to open house.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's pretty exciting.
Will the new sign be visible from the road?
Probably not, there's still a lot of trees, other than the driveway is visible from Pebble Point Road. The flagpole is only 25 feet tall. And I don't know what the future will be for tree trimming, but it's tucked in there. What the town will do is put out 500 feet each direction, north and south. They'll put a sign like we have here, fire station ahead, roughly 500 feet both directions. So somebody traveling needs to find it, they know it's in that area. But our handmade mystery sign out front shows you the direction to go in.
Okay. Well, thank you, Steve and Mert. And again, we're closing in on their second project, which is very exciting. And to the last element, I really don't know what to say about these two people. Laura and Michael have just done a wonderful job moving this project along. The renovation of the municipal building, if you haven't been in there, you need to get permission from Fred, but they've done a beautiful, beautiful job. And I'm gonna turn it over to you, but considering all the things you ran into, it's amazing that it's moving along as nicely as it is. So, yeah, please.
Well, I guess we'll first talk a little bit about the budget. When we were first told the budget and what you wanted to accomplish, we said, we don't think so. And we were right. But, we were told there's roughly $100,000 available for whatever the renovation elements were that Mert and Fred had requested. And in order for us to suggest even attempting to accomplish this, we decided to break it down into bite-sized pieces so that we could evaluate how things were progressing, what monies were left over, what additional things could be done incrementally so we didn't blow a budget. So where we are right now, since the last presentation, phase one is complete. Now, phase one included the cleanup and the repainting of all the offices, the reception center, new carpeting. The evidence room was provided with security locking. Fred has an interview room that he's extraordinarily happy with, which is remarkable, so that's good. Fred and Mert both have offices and with windows, so that's wonderful. And of course, there were some other security issues that were taken care of, all of which were necessary given the move. So phase one was taken care of, and I think Janet did a remarkable job of coordinating a lot of the painting and, incidental stuff that needed to be taken care of. Phase two actually incorporated more of the demolition and the next phase of construction, which incorporates the new kitchen, which we relocated once that was demolished from the original training center. What we found, however, as they were demolishing Mert's office, and we think the timing was actually pretty good, because it looked like the subfloor underneath your office was so severely water damaged, your new office may have been in the basement if we weren't moving fast enough. So the timing was good. We have to say that Ron Gallant and his son Ian have done a yeoman's job of ripping out all the damaged materials, replacing the new floor, replacing the subflooring in preparation for a final finish, which we'll get to in a minute. But simultaneous with that, they have now taken the old trauma center and outfitted that as the new kitchen. The cabinetry is being installed literally as we speak. Tomorrow, the templater is coming in to do the template for the countertops. And then, there'll be some incidental paint. The appliances are all in the room. They're not yet attached, but once the countertops are in place, they'll be installed. So within the next, let's say, month, it's about 3 or 4 weeks for the template for the countertops to be done. So in about a month, the kitchen should be in place, and Mert can have all the facilities moved from the current lab, which is where all the old kitchen materials are being stored. We can have an operable kitchen. Then they refocus back into the training center. And most of that is really going to be the completion of the EOC. And we worked with Mert and Fred on modifying the design a little bit, which actually saved a little money. And it seems like every single one of these projects, if you just look at it a little bit more carefully and you ask the right questions, there's always a couple dollars you can save, which is good. And we'll end up needing it. Because the other thing that we learned yesterday and earlier today when we examined the flooring, the floor, even with the new subfloor, the balance of the flooring in the training center is abysmal. And at this point, the work that we had budgeted for phase two did not include the new flooring. We were hoping to table that to another phase, but we'd like to petition the board to consider looking for finding some funds in order to complete the new flooring. To do it piecemeal is going to end up costing more money, and it's just gonna be very, very disruptive to Fred and Mert once that space is actually being utilized. But the
Right,
one.
right now, there's three conditions in the floor in the
Mhm.
big room. There's a patch job, which is the new flooring that the contracting folks are putting in. That actually looks the best. Next to that is an old vinyl floor on some Luan particle board kind of stuff. That's, maybe from the 1940s. And then the balance of the room is an old gray carpet on padding, which I'm sure has some mold growing inside the padding at this age. But they all sit on what would be, if taken up, a fairly level, good workable sub base. So I think a new floor could go probably right on that if all the old flooring is stripped off. And then in the kitchen, which is open to this big space through an open doorway, there's an old vinyl floor. That floor is tired, but it doesn't need to be ripped out. I think it would be great if the new flooring could include coming into the kitchen and really finishing the job off, so to speak, with all the floors being redone. That the kitchen area could go right on top. And then that new kitchen floor could also extend properly under the accessible pull-in areas, which require finished flooring with all that good stuff. So it would be a good way to kind of finish off this phase.
But one of the things that we'd like to do is schedule the flooring to occur right after the volunteer paint party.
Yes.
And we do have some people who have already expressed an interest in doing this, painting the training center, which not only will save some money, but it'll also, I think, bring a lot of community camaraderie into the space. So that will conclude phase two. And that leaves one more piece, and that's going to be the, what is currently the lab, now servicing as the kind of pseudo kitchen storage room. And our thinking is that that's the ideal location for the ADA compliant toilet room and shower. Currently, the budget will be exhausted at the end of phase two, so we're going to have to start stumping for some more money or search it out somewhere for that new ADA compliant bathroom.
Did you say you needed more money to complete phase two?
Well, if we move that flooring into phase two, that's our request. We really think that it's not reasonable to expect to postpone that flooring. It's just too much of a mess. It would be very disruptive if Fred and Mert start doing training in that center and then have to stop it again to redo the flooring at some future date. So our request is to try to complete it all as part of phase two. And originally, we were budgeting around $6,000 for that floor. There's a little bit more money involved in ripping up the old linoleum, so it's probably gonna be closer to 10. But that would be.
Well, the way it is right now, you can't occupy it the way it is now, because there's different levels.
Yeah,
And they might be small differentials, but if somebody trips on that, that's big.
yeah, yeah.
So can you occupy it without the ADA compliant bathroom?
Oh, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so what you're suggesting or proposing is that the money that we had earmarked for phase three,
No,
I don't know that we had real
We
money.
don't have
we
it.
don't have money for phase three.
No.
Our point is we need more money for phase three. And,
do
if
we need
there's.
more money for phase two? That is what I'm asking.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
We would be at the $100,000 limit without the floor. With the floor, that would add an additional $10,000. Then we have to look
Yeah.
to another bucket. Phase
Bucket bathroom, I like that whole.
Yeah, that
three.
would be for us.
Well, Laura says 10,000, but I'll also
Yeah.
say that there's two parts to the floor thing, right? There's ripping up the stuff that has to go. That's probably just $1,500, $2,000, not a big deal, right? But then, when you're gonna do this floor, I think you should think long and hard about what you put in there. Don't go with some budget floor system, it won't hold up, it won't last. put in something that'll last for a good 20 years. So it might be a little
At
more,
least until you retire.
yeah, it might be a little more than 10 all in, it might be, I don't, I'm just, it might be 15 or whatever it is though, spend the extra money, get a good heavy, whatever. I'm worse kind of assuming vinyl plank flooring or whatever, but,
And when it all is said and done, we'll all be one level.
Yes.
There are toe trippers in there.
yeah, we don't want any of that.
Yeah, the last thing we want is to have our EMTs tripping on stuff before they even
Right.
go out on a run, so.
Well, at this point, it's, I'm just not able to say exactly where the budget stands. Where I need to have Brian and Janet, we're going to set up a meeting and, and there are several reasons for that, which I don't need to go into, but it's important that we don't overspend, and we're responsible for exactly how much money we ask the town for. But all of this has been, all the work that's been done has been done very, very responsibility on the part of everybody who's been involved, whichever project it was. And this is, of course, a very, very important aspect, this last renovation piece. So I think, we should fashion a, recommendation to the select board that, we see if we have permission to exceed the $100,000 if there is any additional money in the budget for the 3 projects. In other words, we're not going outside now of what we had gotten from the bond and interest rates and the donations. But we're saying within that, if we can identify any of the funds, if we came under in the health center, we came under in the Up Island Public Safety Garage, is that true? How much, money therefore, do we have any money? Do we have 10,000? Do we have 20,000? So, but if we do, we want to ask permission from the select board to go over the 100,000 for does this all make sense?
Do we need to,
Ask the select board for that?
yeah, I mean, if it's within the budgeted dollars, I don't see why we have to.
Okay,
If you're just shifting the assignment of dollars,
okay,
I don't think. But
that makes sense to me. That actually makes sense to me. All right, so
And, the phase 3, right, the phase 3 is not part of what you're talking about right now.
no, but if we find out where we are in terms of the budget overall, then the next step would be to say, we've identified X number of dollars after phase 2 of the renovation,
Right.
and we don't have any money left, and therefore, does the town want to do the next step in phase 3 of the
Because in
renovation?
phase 3, and one of these things may be in a different pocket, but you've got the accessible entrance question, which we haven't talked about.
That's the town's responsibility,
Okay.
yes.
But it's a cost that somebody's got to
Yeah.
own the upgrades. So you got the accessible entrance, you have the phase 3 that Laura touched on with the bathroom. And there's
The structural work,
is there more structural work?
I don't think any of it's been done yet.
Oh, okay, so there are some structural fixes
Yeah,
in the underneath it.
Underneath, yeah.
And there's also the question about the ceilings. And I know Mert has said maybe that can be handled internally, but can it, and we'll have to find that out and
Ceilings,
the
panels,
of the tile,
so, the ceilings and the lighting and all that kind of stuff is something that could be looked at, and you're talking about the energy committee, the lighting that's in there is probably pretty darn old and probably sucks more juice than it needs to, so,
mhm.
in terms of budget and paybacks and all that kind of stuff, that could be looked at.
Linda, how old is that building? Do you remember it was built in 1920s?
Oh, no.
This building,
no,
Yes, this
The
building.
municipal building?
Yeah,
80,
this
80,
building,
yeah,
80,
In
in
the
the 80s,
80s.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so it's a pretty old building
84,
and
83.
showing its age. And the town has to recognize that. So
And to my memory, I think most of the lights, as well as in the public safety side, got changed to LED lighting. And the fluorescents have been removed.
Oh, that's.
Oh, that's good.
So I think a lot of them are, but I don't know how many additional lights or different lighting. I know in the ceiling area, and I'm trying to contact sprinkler company. In the new kitchen, we've got to extend 2 heads additional, and then in the little teeny hallway next to EOC area, I gotta put 1 more head.
Right.
So that's a small project, but there's a few dollars involved. And then later, the alarm company is gonna add or move a few detectors.
Yeah.
That's the only thing on my end.
Carrie, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I just wanted to say what Mert said about how the Energy Committee changed the lighting in there 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's all LED lighting now.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah.
All right, so,
Could I,
yes,
ask
please.
just, have you said what ballpark phase 3 is?
Oh,
Uh,
we're speculating. I mean, it's a new bathroom, shower room, and locker area. Probably in the $40,000 range. More or less, I mean, ish.
So a total of,
Roughly 40, you know, I mean, it could be a little more, it could be a little less.
40.
Yeah. Ish, right.
Yeah.
But everything's going up, so, I mean, we're playing a guessing game
Oh.
at this point.
We couldn't have started this 3-project project at a worse time,
Well, you
after
could have started
COVID.
next year, that would have been worse.
Oh, but I mean, it's pretty great that we've made it this far and we want to get all the way.
Well, I have to admit too, one of the benefits of having done this in phases is Mert and Fred and Carrie have been able to carry on and including the, you know, the EMTs and everything else.
Yeah.
Really without missing a beat. If we had tried to do an entire renovation, we would have had to shut the whole thing down and Lord knows where they would have been for
Yeah,
a year and a half.
yeah.
So.
Well, and
it was
again,
smart.
I've watched from afar and then a little bit in person, the way you've managed this, and you and I have been on email and on the phone, and, you know, I'll listen to Laura talk about how they were able to get this reduced by this amount of money, and Ron has agreed to do this a little bit more, you know, I mean, it's been a beautifully managed piece of this overall project and very impressive. If we could have had the architects working for us do as well as you architects working for the renovation. I shouldn't say that because our architect was marvelous in so many ways, but you know, you did a beautiful job and I really
Well, thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. We've enjoyed it. Good people to work with, right, Mark?
Oh, yeah, almost.
All right, I put the budget summary in here because I was hoping to the bitter end that I would have something conclusive about where we are with the budget, you know. We're as close as we can get with saying that we need probably another 20,000 to complete phase 2.
That would be reasonable, that would be comfortable.
And probably somewhere around 40,000 to complete phase 3. And in terms of that by the public safety garage, outstanding there is well, septic and the pad, which we don't know the amount that would be needed for that yet. But we can probably get some rough estimates.
And we might also have surplus, right?
And we might have surplus,
We're running
but
out of
how
that,
much
yeah.
it is the unknown figure. Yeah, we're close, but no cigar. And it'd be really nice to have that cigar. Bad analogy number 923, okay. Okay, so I did want to do one other thing, mention the summary information meeting that's coming up on the 30th. Let's refine what we did today so that we drop out of all Lauren's side comments and we try to make a smooth presentation. We should have everybody on board. If you do have a visual that you want to have presented, we need to get that to Michael Hutcherson. He's going to do all the technical aspects. So, just the one item that we might want to do, Laura, is, you and I and Pete get together in terms of how we present the budget. Are we saying the same things that the audience will understand? We filled in the blanks and we don't get a lot of questions at the end of it, so.
Oh, Michael's good at explaining money.
Okay.
Great.
I think you just read bullet points and,
Great.
it's simple, right?
Great. Okay, anything else on the summary information meeting?
That's on the 30th.
30th, It's on the
two
30th.
weeks from tomorrow, it's on
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, and it's at 5:30.
No, that's on Thursday.
Today's the 15th, the Thursday.
Today's the 16th,
Oh, really?
all day.
There you have it.
Is it, what day of the week is it? The 30th?
Oh,
The
yeah, right, that's right too, yes. there was-
Yeah.
Okay,
Thursday.
I lost a day.
yes.
I think some kind of visual presentation would be really nice, so that people see, and people who haven't been around, how much has been done.
Yeah, yeah,
And
good.
just a real
Yeah.
snapshot of the whole thing.
We
We're gonna
have,
take interior pictures next week of
okay,
whatever
great,
it looks like over there.
great, wonderful. And, we have an exterior, we have a number of exteriors of the building. We should get something in that shot so you can see, that's a big building. I mean, relatively speaking for, garages, this is a big structure,
I'm
40
not
by
complaining.
60. Yeah,
You want me to take some pictures of that too?
Yeah.
Well, it might be a good idea, Mert, if we could schedule taking one of the trucks up. It's kind of open and just it's a nice building, but it would be nice to have one of the fire truck to give the dimension
That would be nice.
of the
Stick it in
building.
there?
I can't put any vehicle in there until more,
No, but I meant
put it front,
near it,
yeah, park it in front at an angle so we can get to, kind of
Get a scale, yeah.
Yeah.
Give it
Yeah,
a
we
scale.
can do
that would be
Oh,
great,
yeah.
that would be great. And of course, we can get pictures of the health center, which, is quite beautiful. So, okay, that's great. And then, I did want to do one more thing, if you can bear with me. I was hoping that Mark Olet could zoom in and we would be able to give him his appreciation. I have this here, to Mark Olet of Stephen Blatt Architects. The members of the town of Islesborough's Municipal Building Project Committee hereby award you our certificate of highest honor for your extraordinary contribution to the construction of two major municipal projects, the Islesborough Health Center, the IHC, and the Up Island Public Safety Garage. Both projects were critically needed for Island's health and safety. We've been extremely fortunate to work with you, Mark, on the construction of the IHC and the Up Island Public Safety Garage. You were dedicated, professional, consistently supportive throughout our 4 years of construction, and we simply could not have brought the project to completion without you. Thank you, Mark. On this day, 16th day of July, 2026, and it needs Linda, Bill, Derek, and Steve's signatures. And I tried to get Mark to zoom in, and he's not available. But then he said, would you please read this to the committee? So he said, good evening, community of Islesborough. I want to say it has been a pleasure working with you and for you. While nothing worthwhile is ever easy, I am very content in knowing that I was part of the process in bringing a much needed healthcare office building and Up Island Public Safety Garage to Islesborough. The Islesborough community is amazing. You are not only clients, but now friends to me. Thank you and best regards.
Nice.
Very nice.
I wanted to just open it up and don't feel at all, I mean, to say anything, but I would like to have on record any comments we want to make on behalf of Mark. So if you want to say anything to add to what we said in the certificate, I thought he did a beautiful job of keeping us, communicating with us and, making sure we were on track.
Yeah.
I have to say that there were times when, I was in LA at the, one of the memorials there, and, it was on a weekend, and we had a huge problem in that we were going to lose our original selection for contract manager because they were just not coming through at all. They were not looking for discounts, they were not finding ways to work with us. And we had to get out of that, and I'm talking to Mark for an hour on a weekend from LA. And he's just giving me ideas, we're talking about ways we can handle it. And that happened over and over and over again. I know nothing about this business, and Mark held my hand, and Pete Anderson was massively involved, and I turned to Bill Boardman for advice, and we made it through, but there were a lot of tough spots, and this man was really in there and doing a great job, so. Anyone want to add anything to that?
You hit it all.
He did it all.
You hit it all.
He did it all. Yeah,
Captures the essence of what we want
yeah,
to be on record.
yeah, great. All right, okay, this is a public comment. Part of the agenda. Anybody other than the room, people in the room? There's nobody else on Zoom, so anybody else? Thank you again, Michael and Laura, for your wonderful work. And Bert and Carrie, thanks for your comments tonight, very helpful. And to Jennifer, who's wounded warrior typing away with the badge. And this incredible committee. We may have only one more meeting in the future, so after all these years, thank you, and, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Well, before you do, I just also wanted to say thank you to Amanda O'Bannon, who started, evaluating, putting in some artwork and really freshening up the space. And I guess Linda was involved in that as well. But wow, it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
I have not seen Fred smile so much since, you got his own office and he looks out at this marvelous artwork. It really makes space feel finished.
Laura, thank you, I should have said that, it's Derek, Linda, and Amanda, and with the help of, Amber Dooley.
Yeah.
And they were a hell of a team and did a magnificent job. And that needs to be in the summer information meeting too, so maybe.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yes, because people contributed, so.
yes, absolutely,
No, that's nice.
absolutely. Thank you. All right, motion to adjourn,
So,
second, all in favor? It's unanimous, thank you.
Who's the responsible for the information to, Bill to make sure that he
Looks nice.
approves?
Summer scout.
Remember, we voted,
I do,
motion was.